Welcome to our craziest and most unique Disney experiences. The first story we have for you is when the Shootin' Arcade was still open. They had a checkerboard next to it that we were playing at night, and we did not realize that the park had closed because there was still some people walking through, cast members, and a few guests here and there. So when we were finally done with our game of checkers, we were on our way out of the park, and a cast member was walking the opposite way, and he goes,
"Hey, I guess."
And we're like,
yeah, we're leaving right now.
And then he's like,
"Yeah, come on, let's go."
And he escorted us out of Frontierland and Liberty Square into the hub, which was still open at the time, so we didn't feel like we broke any laws too badly. We broke the law.
Just finished up a checkers game.
Okay.
I won.
I hope y'all's day was magical.
It was wonderful. I will be here tomorrow probably. For the Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, last day, so yeah.
Alright, thank you.
But it did shiver me timbers a little bit. I was scared. It's scary.
Yeah, man, I remember my heart was racing a little bit because he was acting a little weird about it. Like, it seemed like the whole main street must have been closed too, the way that he was kind of acting, but the park wasn't closed for that long. People had just finished, I think, finally getting out of Big Thunder, and there was a ton of people still by the castle and on Main Street shopping and all this stuff, so I don't think it was actually that bad. Now, the story that Sydney just told was that we did something wrong. Let's talk about how Disney does some stuff wrong. The People Mover, legendary People Mover, everybody loves the People Mover, one of the greatest attractions ever made. Yesterday was just its 50th anniversary as of filming. So everybody knows that you gotta take the speed ramp, the moving walkway style ramp, up to the loading platform for the People Mover. Well, when we went one time, the ramp did not stop. So it's filled up in the queue up top and below, and they're just sending people through. No one's paying any attention. They're like, keep it going, keep it going. And so we're on the ramp, dude, and we make it all the way up to the top, and then there's still a ton of people behind us, and now it's filled. We are at the little safety yellow area, otherwise we're gonna be on the ramp when it's moving, and it just doesn't stop. Normally the ramp stops. There's a safety feature or something that happens. I don't know. These people are just piling into us, bro. They're like bowling balls, and we're bowling pins. They are just coming in waves, bro.
Ladies are screaming. I panicked. I just went into them, I'm pushed into them by the ramp.
Yeah, and I guess I was kind of just walking backwards on the ramp, just trying to not touch people. And nobody's doing anything. Disney's not doing anything. No cast members are doing anything. Nobody said anything after. And it was not just for us, for other people it seemed like quite the ordeal. So I was really shocked that no one said anything at all. This wasn't the only time that this happened either. You would think that this is a one-time event, and it's whoa, that was crazy. We went back there probably honestly 2 weeks or something after that, and then it happened again, and we've seen it get close to happening, and it's just got to be going on kind of consistently, honestly, which is crazy.
Yeah, the first time it happened was the moment when I no longer felt completely safe at Disney. It made me realize that this is real stuff, and I could actually, something could go wrong. It's just people my age working here, and mistakes happen.
Yeah, I feel very qualified to run the public transportation plans.
It is troubling.
The troubling transit system of tomorrow. I can run it. We could do something good. Let's talk about how they gave us free ice cream and stuff, man. Disney's cool.
Okay. We've gotten quite a few free things at Disney, which is so nice of them. I got free ice cream from the restaurant in the China Pavilion at Epcot, even though it wasn't even my birthday or anything. He was just being nice.
Yeah, we were just eating, and then out of nowhere, he didn't ask or anything. He just shows up with ice cream and gives it to her,
It's so nice.
And of course, I got in there a little bit.
For the Flower and Garden Festival, they do free Uncrustables, so we scooped up some PB&Js from them for free.
And let's be real here. Let's be thanking Uncrustables here. We're not.
It's true.
They're sponsoring the stuff. It's
Shout out to their
Uncrustables.
family.
They're the ones.
For our anniversary, we went to Sanaa at Animal Kingdom
Oh,
Lodge.
it was so
and
good.
they gave us a free dessert. It was like a chocolate mousse egg that looked like an ostrich egg. And then I think it said happy anniversary on a little chocolate on it. That was so sweet.
That restaurant was so good. I could just start talking about Sanaa. But we're gonna stick on topic here. Okay, so sometimes if you ask or if they're just feeling you or whatever, they will pass out transportation cards.
They do them for the ferry boats, the monorail, pretty much any of the boat transportation and the trams. I don't know if they do Skyliner or not. That would
I
be
think
a good
they
one.
do. I think they do. We need to ask for it. We have a ton of them. We have the monorail, we have the ferry boat, we have the tram.
Found that one on the ground.
When we took one of the motor launches, as we learned it was called due to the card, those like little ferry boats that have like a little fantasy vibe to them. Fun fact, apparently Walt Disney designed those himself. He gave us a whole stack.
And we've also gotten plenty of free stickers and buttons from the cast members. They hand them out pretty often. We got some monorail stickers that have the golden wings on the sides, which is one of the most legendary ones we've gotten.
We earned our monorail wings. Oh, and before, I got a monorail co-pilot card, bro. They put my name on it. I'm an official co-pilot. So, you guys ever need some monorail assistance, you can call me up. And during that same time, that was when, this is a whole other experience, we might be moving on to another one, when they let us sit in the front of the monorail. Not when it's moving for this occasion, because they don't do that anymore. But we got our photos taken in the pilot's seat, and we got to see like out the main cab, and just, it was so good. I wish that we could sit up there again. When I was younger, whole other experience. I got to sit up there, and I remember riding it multiple times, but I remember like specifically going to Epcot in it.
It's so legendary. I wish I could have done that. I've only gotten my photo in the pilot seat, and he didn't tell me not to push any buttons, but you could see me resisting the urge in the photo. We have some more pretty legendary monorail experiences. Like one time we were walking from the Magic Kingdom to Grand Floridian down that sidewalk, and the monorail was leaving the station, and so it was like inching really slowly next to us. Like I felt like it was like walking with us. And then as it started to speed up and go, I started to run with it. Like I was racing the monorail, and then I eventually lost. But then once I was like way behind them, they like honked at me.
Dude, the amount of times that we get the monorails to honk at us is insane. Sydney and I, after a long day at Magic Kingdom, will insist on walking 1.5 miles back to the car instead of taking the monorail or any of the transportation, because there's just tons of people. We're not about that. So we'll walk, enjoy our evening stroll, and monorails are just passing us left and right. It's the future. And we're like, hey, monorail!
He's like,
hey, monorail!
and then they do it, and we're like, yeah!
Yeah, almost every time, bro. It happens all the
It's
time.
so fun.
The monorail people have to like know it's us at this point.
Some of them recognize us by now. So
They-
one
yeah,
of them
yeah.
was like, I remember those boots and stuff like that.
You know what? Honestly, this isn't on the list, but I think a crazy thing is when cast members recognize you.
Yeah.
Going to a theme park that's just like a vacation destination for most, and then you start going there, people start recognizing you right away. But after you're going there with an annual pass for like months, you start recognizing people, and then they start recognizing you. They'll be like, "Oh, back again," or you know.
It's a classic.
Yeah, dude. Or some of them will like, you know, hook you up in some ways and maybe let you go around again every now and then on a ride.
Another monorail experience that's pretty unique is we watched the track switch. The monorail will have to go from one track to the other to go back to the maintenance bay. So watching it move over on the walkway to the Contemporary for Magic Kingdom was super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool because the monorail beams, if you don't know, are just giant concrete, it's just huge concrete things. And so to see an area where they are like moving this whole concrete track over when none of the other beams or pillars or nothing move at all, it's very interesting to see. Man, it's really cool, especially because it's like right there on the walkway to Magic Kingdom. Like
Yeah.
they could have put it, you know, where we don't see that stuff.
It's good for us.
I suppose it's good for us. Some would say it's ugly because now there's mechanical stuff there, and you know, and I understand. But as a couple of dweebs that like Disney, I like to see some of that.
Some sickos.
Oh no.
Since he mentioned a legendary experience from his childhood riding in front of the monorail, I want to mention one of my magical moments from when I was a kid at the Haunted Mansion. They let me go backstage and get dressed up in the cast member costume with the dress, like I think they're dressed like a maid or something, and they let me go in the stretching room and say, "Please step to the dead center of the room." And then afterward, we got a photo. I think my mom has a picture. I'm gonna have to find it to put in this video. And they gave me a ghost dog, which is a leash with wire in it, and then it has a harness with like nothing in it because it's a ghost. And
There's a dog in there. There's not nothing.
it's a ghost.
That reminds me of when my sister, she went to Disney with us. We're a big group, and we separated.
We were going on Space Mountain or the People Mover.
Yeah, and
They
so
were in Carousel of Progress. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. My sister was gonna ride or watch Carousel of Progress there in Tomorrowland, and my mom and my sister know how much I love the history of stuff like that. Like Carousel of Progress is very legendary, of course, and so they sent a video of my sister doing the whole spiel on the little thing. I don't even remember what they say, but you know, the welcome to Walt Disney Carousel of Progress.
Most importantly,
Enjoy the show.
Woohoo!
Pretty jealous. It's pretty cool.
And she's the one that like makes fun of him for talking about People Mover facts and
Yeah.
history all the time.
Yeah,
So
bro.
I was just like, here, in your face.
If you need to know anything about her, she is for the Cars expansion at Magic Kingdom.
Don't
That
even
is
call it an expansion.
destroying Frontierland. So that's all you need to know about her, bro. And she got to do the Carousel of Progress spiel. Whatever. All right, now we're gonna just list off a bunch of influencers or famous people or whoever that we've seen at the parks, because again, this is a very popular theme park, so you get a lot of people in that you recognize from online and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter how big or how small they are. If like you're watching someone online and you see them in person, it's like a whoa, there they are feeling. I think we gotta start out hot dogs on the People Mover
Oh my gosh.
or hot dogs at Disney. Okay, this happened yesterday, so it's fresh in our mind. We gotta start off with him because it was honestly one of the greatest interactions, I think, because it sort of lasted all day.
Yeah.
So I'll let you explain this. Sydney is probably the biggest hot dogs at Disney, hot dogs on the People Mover fan that there is.
I have a
So
huge
this is all
fan.
her.
This is a big deal for me, okay? He's like my favorite Disney content creator. So yesterday was the 50th of the People Mover, as we mentioned, and he was determined to ride it 50 times in a day.
And so during this day, this was also our last day to experience Tom Sawyer Island. So as much as we love the People Mover, it's gonna be there tomorrow. It's gonna be there the next day. We had to spend a lot of time on Tom Sawyer Island. I was getting some video clips done, and we were just enjoying ourselves over there. So we were not able to like be over there in Tomorrowland, seeing Hot Dog and like, his name is James. Seeing
We
James.
call him Hot Dog.
You know, with seeing Hot Dog. We didn't get to see Hot Dog until later because we were so busy over on the other side of the park in Frontierland.
Yeah, so we were like checking his story periodically throughout the day. We took a break from Tom Sawyer Island for a little bit to go to Tomorrowland and ride the People Mover, and we were keeping our eye out for him. And as we're walking into Tomorrowland, we see him on the People Mover going into the tunnel with Progress City. And it was so funny seeing him in his natural habitat like that. And then we hopped on the People Mover and we passed by him going into Space Mountain when the People Movers are next to each other, and we're like, hot dogs on the People Mover, because that's his second account. He didn't hear us. Then we do like one of these. We
Yeah,
wrap
bro,
around.
I had to do a wraparound and get this man again because he ain't getting off. So we're gonna end up at the same spot, and there's no way that he didn't hear me. So we gotta go again.
Oh my God.
Sydney's like, I'm not
my
doing
God,
it.
I'm not
I don't
trying
want to
again.
bother him. And I'm like, this dude is posting and hyping his whole thing up. You know, he needs some recognition. I'm gonna yell for him again. So we're about to go into Space Mountain. Here he comes, Hot Dog coming in hot around the People Mover. And here I go, hot dogs on the people mover. Bro doesn't even turn. Doesn't look like he heard because he doesn't react in any way. And so we're trying to figure out, is this dude just ignoring us? Or like, you know, there's audio going on the people mover. So he probably just didn't hear us. So
we're pulling into the loading station to like get off the people mover. And he's going around for his, you know, probably 20-somethingth time. And we see him from a distance. He's about to take a picture with a cast member. And we're going to be in the background. So I'm like this. And then he sees me going like this because he's done with the photo by now. And then he goes like this back. And I'm like, oh, hey. And he waves back. And I'm like, looking back between him and Jaden.
So then after this, we get off the people mover. We're heading back to Frontierland to spend the rest of our time on Tom Sawyer Island before it's closed. And Sydney doesn't want to, you know, be weird and message him or whatever, but he posted again on his story, was showing the number of times that he's been around. He's like keeping track on a whiteboard, and he's on like 20 something. So I respond to his story and I ask how he thinks he's doing. Like, is he gonna finish it? Does he think that he has the time for it? He says that he thinks he's gonna be done by 8:30 p.m. Park closes at 10, so we're like, oh dude, he's got this in the bag. This is it. So I go ahead and I reply to that message and I let him know that we have a little gift for him for when he completes this challenge. If he knows about what time that he'd get off, or if he has like a break time in mind where he needs to get off or whatever, we can head over there and drop it off. He said that he's going to try and just power through the whole thing. I think he did. I think this man, he had a backpack. I think he sat on that people mover all day long. And so he says that he'll probably be done about 8:30. So we plan, Tom Sawyer Island's going to be closed at about 7. We'll make our way over there. Probably see him right when he's getting done.
So we figured he'd be on his 50th lap and getting off the people mover by now. So we were hanging out by the exit ramp. And we were going to clap for him when he's coming down the ramp, because that's a legendary achievement.
I wanted to do that day, just to let you know. And I had to sacrifice my 50 people mover rides to go and enjoy Tom Sawyer Island, because Disney decided to make blockout dates all the way through the 4th of July, and then they closed Tom Sawyer Island the last blockout date. They couldn't leave it open one more day for the pass holders. That's a whole other story.
So hot dog's coming down the ramp. We're clapping for him. We're like, you did it!
Yeah! Congratulations!
He goes, there's news.
And then the man does like a walk of shame, basically, down the people mover ramp, everybody. We're talking about people mover ramp again. He's using it. He's like, he's doing the walk down the ramp. He comes over to us. Very nice, bro. Super cool guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. We didn't want to keep him too long. You know, he's got a challenge to do. What did he tell us?
So he said to us that it started raining so badly in the area that everyone had to get off the people mover. Then they stopped doing re-rides. You have to get off and wait in line and get back on. So that's adding a lot of time to his mission here.
Yeah, the waits are probably around 15 minutes, I would say.
Yeah,
probably 10
when
to
the
15.
queue's full, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's adding a ton of time onto this thing. And they were letting him go around multiple times, you know, all day long, and now they're like cutting him off
at number 42.
Yeah, and so my guess is that it wasn't anything to do with the 50th. I think it was because it was actually storming really bad, so everybody's standing under covered areas and doorways or whatever. So obviously a ton of people are gonna be like, let's just stay on the people mover, so they can't be having that. Understandable. But
makes sense.
It was stressing us out. I probably more than Hot Dog, bro. We were not sure if he was gonna make it. It was worrying. But we gave him his painting.
Here's the painting. I'll put a picture of the painting.
It was a double-sided, bro. She got him 2 for
Both
1.
accounts.
Yeah, and so you know, we talked with him a little bit, and then we let him know, you know, you better get on that people mover, man. You gotta get this thing done. We had a good experience. We took a photo with him, and probably one of the best photos. We made sure to get the people mover sign in it and all that.
We're all soaked though, because he had to wait in line, and we were just in the rain on Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
It was a really good day. Now we can kind of blow through a bunch of these quickly, but
yeah.
that story just had to be talked about.
Yeah. So we've seen Adam the Woo twice now. We've seen him on the last day of Country Bears and on the walkway outside Magic Kingdom.
And we know that he's not too big on, he doesn't want to talk to a ton of people. It's understandable. I'm the same way. So we see him often. I don't want to go out of my way. I've never talked to him yet. I'm sure one day we will, but we just don't want to be too annoying, especially on those last days with the ride. I know it gets hectic, and I know that there's a ton of people talking to him already. I saw the Nelk Boys, okay? Anybody out there that knows about the Nelk Boys, that's freaking crazy. Okay, I don't even really care about them that much, but we were in line for the Kilimanjaro Safari ride at Animal Kingdom. And I noticed this dude in front of me with a Nelk bag. And so I'm like, hey, it's Cindy. And then I look over and Kyle, the main guy of the whole Full Send brand or whatever, is there. And so I just start like kind of geeking out in a way just because I'm like, whoa, was not expecting. I'm like, Full Send. Full Send.
It's Full Send.
Instead of, I could have said Kyle or the Nelk Boys. I was just like, Full Send. Full Send.
We ended up riding the safari ride on the same vehicle as him.
Oh, yeah.
And afterwards, we just wanted to go to the Gorilla Trail or whatever, Gorilla Falls Trail. And he ended up going there too. So we were kind of like with his group for a minute, but we tried to like stay back so we weren't like stalking him.
Yeah, and just since I'm not like a huge fan, like, I've watched him before, but I'm not like a huge fan of him. We didn't go out of our way and talk to them or get any photos done or whatever. I'm sure they would cool guy us anyways. Honestly, bro, they had like security guards with them and whatever.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, bro, they got their little thing.
Okay.
They think they're something. So
Full Sending it.
yeah. Bro, let's talk about the legend Tom Corliss.
Oh my god.
This girl calls him Tom Cornelius, just so you guys know.
It's just
if
funny,
she
right?
says it during this, that's why. She knows his name is Tom Corliss. She's just a weirdo.
Oh, Tom is such a chill guy. He's the chillest of chill, bro.
He is. We talk about him all the time, how Tom's just the guy.
He's so humble.
Tom the guy Corliss is what we call him. Or I really call him Tom the guy Cornelius. But yeah, man, he's just, he probably very aware. He's very big in the Walt Disney World community, Disneyland community, even Universal. He's the face of Walt Disney World News today. But he's very humble. He's very nice. Loves to talk and engage with the fan. A lot of these YouTubers have just been really nice. Some of the nicest people that we've met.
Tom was doing a meetup for the 50th anniversary of Space Mountain, and we ended up seeing him on Tom Sawyer Island at the end of their excursion that day and got our picture with him there. And then we've also done a museum tour of their studio, the Walt Disney World News Today Museum, that was led by him. So we got to basically hang out with him for a pretty long time with just like one other person in the group.
Yeah, it was a really cool tour. If you guys don't know about that, it's over in Celebration. If you're already there at Walt Disney World, it's literally right across the street. They have a ton of cool props of really old history stuff if you're into that, and it's very affordable. Not an ad. I just, you gotta preach to the fans, bro. A bunch of fans don't even know that that's over there. It's right there, dude. You gotta go see it.
They have so many old things like from the parks.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
We were there for the Country Bear closing. We saw Tom in line before, which was our first time seeing him. We didn't talk to him because he was waiting in line or whatever. And then we saw Adam the Woo again, and we saw the legendary Carpetbagger walking with him. Carpetbagger does a lot of travel videos, so he doesn't like live in Florida and is always there. So seeing someone that's like always everywhere in the country there, that was cool. We didn't talk to him because he was with Adam. There's a lot going on, I didn't want to be annoying. Yeah. I ran into Justin Scarred multiple times while he was here at Walt Disney World before.
Of course, I was in line for Journey into Your Imagination with Figment with my mom.
And I'm like, bro, I need a break. I need to go and get a drink over in Mexico. I'll be back. You ride this with your mom. I'll be back. So I just start walking across the park to get me a beverage. And who is it? Justin Scarred and his girlfriend, Allie. I'm just walking and I'm just like, whoa. So then I talk to him, we have a good conversation. Again, super nice people. Got our photo done. Sent the picture to Sydney. Was like, look who it is. And, she's like, bro,
no
mad. And so then,
this was the same day that Tony Baxter was there
That's what I was
for
gonna
a
say.
meet and greet or to sign stuff for people for the Festival of the Arts.
Yeah, so I'm standing there meeting Justin, and little do I know, like right around the corner, like literally right behind me, we got Tony Baxter doing meet and greets, and Brett Iwan was there, also in the same spot doing meet and greets. So those are two just straight up Disney legends.
Such a
that we
crazy
saw.
day.
Like bigger than any of these YouTubers, obviously. Tony Baxter and Brett Iwan just there at Epcot was incredible. We didn't talk to him because it was virtual queue and all this other stuff, but we saw them, which was great enough for me, bro. They were not like behind some big thing. Like you could walk literally like a foot away from them. They were right there.
I think I snuck a pic of Tony Baxter like a creep,
yeah.
but like
You
it
gotta.
was just insane. The guy was there.
Other famous YouTubers, we got Eugenia Cooney.
Saw her
Nothing much to talk about.
Walking
We saw
down
her.
Main Street.
Yeah, bro. He's just walking on Main Street, and we're just like, Eugenia
What?
Cooney.
Oh my god, guys. So we were getting in line for the People Mover, and two people like cut it, like in front of us real quick, which is like whatever, just two people.
While we're
But I'm
walking
like,
in line, not actually cutting, but
yeah,
rushing to
like,
get in front of us.
At the same time we're going in, they like go in front of us, which is, and I look up and I'm like, that looks just like Raven from RuPaul's Drag Race, out of drag, of course. And I don't see her out of drag that often because I just watch her on like Fashion Photo Review and stuff.
To the people that don't watch RuPaul, like I don't, Raven is the person that does RuPaul's makeup, I believe.
Very legendary.
So that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm like not positive it's her. I know it's literally looks just like her, but I don't know if it is. So I didn't say anything to her because I was too scared. But I'm just like behind her in line, like looking through her Instagram to see if she's at Disney right now. And we ended up on the People Mover right behind them. And afterwards, I think like the next day, I'm checking her Instagram again. She was at Disney. She took her picture with Mickey Mouse at Epcot the next day. I can't believe it, honestly.
I just want you guys to know, I was really trying to convince Sydney to just talk to them and get a photo. I even offered to talk first, or whatever. Sydney just wouldn't have any of it. So she has no photo, nothing with this person, okay? That's her own
Just
fault.
trust me, it was legendary.
Oh, bro, when we were at the Polynesian, we saw For the Love of Theme Parks, a great YouTuber, has some of the best editing, I think, in the game. We saw him at the Boutique, I think is the name of the store there in the lobby. And again, very nice
Super
guy.
nice.
Was happy to talk to us, take a photo. So I'll tell you right now, I met Disney Dan, and I actually saw For the Love of Theme Parks this same day, but I didn't know who he was at the time, so I didn't get a photo with him. So that was probably like kind of weird, I'm like, Disney Dan, and For the Love of Theme Parks is right there, and he's just like. But anyways, I got off the monorail. This was when I was going by myself before she got her pass or anything. So I'm just there by myself. I'm getting off the monorail at the TTC, and I hear his voice. Disney Dan has a very specific voice, and he's just talking over there. And I'm like, oh my God. And so they're leaving, and I'm kind of letting them finish their conversation. And then I walk up to them, and, I introduce myself, and I tell them that, I enjoy his videos or whatever. I think I told them that my favorite video was him trying to do the 50 rides on the People Mover. And then we got our photo together. Extremely nice guy, of course, again. And so then Sydney finally kind of saw him recently. I'll let you tell him about that.
On the last day of Muppet Vision 3D, of course, all the fans are gathering around, and it's going to be replaced by a Monsters, Inc. land. So everyone is like pointing and booing at this guy dressed as Randall with a Monsters University shirt. And later, we found out on social media that was Disney Dan.
Yeah, bro. I'm sure there's a video on his channel, but there's a lot of photos of him. I'm sure you can throw some up of him getting some, I wouldn't say getting hate, but he's just being
a menace.
Just a menace, bro. He's just, he booked the day and he showed up to just terrorize these people. He has this giant Randall head on, just walking around, just, oh yeah, Monsters is coming. He's a funny guy. I think that we should wrap it up here. It's been a pretty long video. We have tons more for you. So if you like this, make sure you like her video and we can go through the rest of these. There are still some pretty impressive and good stuff that we got here. And I'm sure that we will have more to add to the list as the years go on.
Yeah. There's plenty of backstage stuff that we've seen that we did not even mention in this video. So I'll probably put a lot of that in part 2.
Oh yeah. Backstage stuff is legendary.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.